Hey everyone! If you are a follower of our channel, then you probably know that we are quite passionate about earthquakes and volcanoes. And if there's anything that could catch our attention, it is when these natural phenomena interact with each other. In this video, we're going to talk about one of the most famous supervolcanoes in the world. It is located in the northwest corner of the United States and is home to some amazing geothermal features, such as geysers, hot springs, mud pots and canyons carved by waterfalls. It is the Yellowstone caldera. The last thing we want to do is spread panic. But there have been many people talking about the possibility of the Yellowstone Supervolcano erupting soon. When it erupts, we will all be in big trouble. But before we get into that, let's take a moment to appreciate the beauty that this place offers. Yellowstone National Park was the first national park established in the United States. It has been attracting visitors from all around the world for more than 145 years. In 2021, it received more than 4 million recreational visitors. Of course, there are many beautiful places that you can visit, but sometimes it's nice to know that the area that you're visiting has some serious nature behind it. Some people even claim that visiting the park without seeing any wildlife or geysers is a waste of a trip. The park spans more than 2.2 million acres, which is about 3,400 square miles. Yellowstone is actually the largest park in the lower 48 states, being bigger than both Yosemite and Sequoia. Its diverse topography includes everything from mountains and forests to rivers and lakes. The park protects more than half of the greater Yellowstone ecosystem, which also includes parts of neighboring Montana and Idaho. The ecosystem contains more than 60 species of mammals, including grizzly bears, bison, wolves, and elk. Birdwatchers will have a field day here since more than 300 species of birds have been recorded. And if you don't want to go birdwatching yourself, you can simply listen to them while driving through the park. Of the 11 million cars that entered in 2021, 40% were towed away. So make sure that you don't break any rules. Yellowstone is also home to more than 10,000 hydrothermal features, including more than half of the world's geysers. More than 100 of them are more than 100 feet tall. The most famous one is probably Old Faithful, which erupts every 90 minutes and reaches up to 185 feet. The park also has more than 100 documented hot springs, and many of them are accessible by car or hiking trail. One of the largest is the Excelsior Geyser Crater, which is over 7 acres and almost 150 feet deep. Mud pots are another popular feature. They're not as flashy as geysers, but they're still impressive. There are several places where you can see bubbling mud and steam in the park. One of the best spots is the Dragon's Mouth, so named because of its shape and vibrant colors. Don't forget to check out the Grand Prismatic Spring, which is the largest hot spring in North America and is also famous for its rainbow colors. It gets its color from algae growing in the hot water. The colors vary depending on the temperature of the water and the amount of dissolved minerals. Last but not least, you should definitely see the Yellowstone Grand Canyon of the Yellowstone River. The river drops nearly 300 feet as it winds its way through a series of steep gorges. Several viewpoints along the rim provide breathtaking views of the canyon and its colorful rock layers. The most famous viewpoint is probably Artist Point, which offers a panoramic view of the lower falls. The falls drop 109 feet, making them one of the tallest waterfalls in North America. But there's a little problem. Beneath all this beauty lies a supervolcano that hasn't erupted in 640,000 years. Well, sort of. The truth is that the last major eruption occurred about 630,000 years ago. However, scientists believe that the magma chamber may have started to fill again around 13,000 years ago. Since then, it is estimated that about 20 cubic kilometers of magma have accumulated beneath the caldera. This is equivalent to roughly 5 million Olympic-sized swimming pools. However, scientists don't think that the magma chamber is full yet. The rate at which magma is generated is probably between 10 and 20 cubic kilometers per million years. Now, what happens if the magma chamber fills up? According to scientists, there's a small chance that this could happen within the next 1,000 years, which is bad news. A large eruption would not only affect the United States, but also Canada, Mexico, and even parts of South America. Ash would cover an area of approximately 100,000 square kilometers, which is similar to the size of New York City. But thankfully, scientists say that there's no indication that something like this is going to happen anytime soon. But wait, there's more. Remember how I said that the last major eruption occurred 630,000 years ago? Well, scientists think that there could be a second magma chamber beneath the first one. And if that's true, then we might be in even bigger trouble. You see, scientists have detected a swarm of earthquakes that may indicate the presence of magma beneath the magma chamber. In other words, we may be dealing with a magma chamber under a magma chamber. These findings have been published in the Bulletin of Volcanology. Researchers from the University of Utah used a method called receiver function analysis to study the deep interior of the Earth. They used data from local and regional seismic networks to image the structure of the crust and upper mantle beneath Yellowstone. What they found was surprising. They discovered a low-velocity zone about 10 kilometers beneath the caldera. This zone is thought to be caused by partial melting of the rock, which could indicate the presence of magma. Now, scientists don't know exactly what's going on down there, but they have a few theories. One possibility is that there's a second magma chamber beneath the first one. Another possibility is that the magma chamber isn't empty, but rather that its magma has solidified into a mushy substance known as magma mush. Magma mush behaves differently than traditional magma, and scientists think that it could be responsible for the recent earthquake swarm. Whatever is happening down there, it doesn't seem to pose a threat to humans. In fact, scientists say that the chances of a large eruption in the next 1,000 years are less than 3%. Still, it's always good to keep an eye on what's going on beneath our feet. After all, Yellowstone is one of the most powerful volcanoes on Earth. So now let's answer the question in the title of this video. Is the Yellowstone Supervolcano breathing or building? It turns out that it might be doing both. Scientists believe that the recent earthquakes are evidence that the magma chamber is inflating. This process is known as magma injection. As magma rises from deep within the Earth's mantle, it creates pressure that causes the surrounding rock to fracture and deform. This deformation can release energy in the form of earthquakes. So the recent swarm of earthquakes may be a sign that magma is rising and the magma chamber is getting ready to blow. On the other hand, scientists have also detected changes in the park's landscape that suggest the magma chamber is deflating. This process is known as magma withdrawal. As magma leaves the chamber, it relieves pressure on the surrounding rock, causing it to rebound. This rebound can be measured using GPS and satellite data, so it's possible that Yellowstone is both inflating and deflating at the same time. If that's the case, then we could see an increase in volcanic activity in the near future. But don't worry, scientists are keeping a close eye on things. The United States Geological Survey monitors Yellowstone's seismic activity 24 hours a day. If there are any signs of an imminent eruption, scientists will be able to warn the public in plenty of time. And remember, even if Yellowstone did erupt, most of us would probably survive. Okay, maybe that's not entirely true. People living nearby would probably need to evacuate, and those living far away would also need to prepare for falling ash. And yes, we would feel some effects even in Brazil, but at least it wouldn't be the end of the world, unlike what some clickbait titles would have you believe. But please don't share those videos because that would trigger a panic. And trust me, we don't want that. We hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up. See you next time.